Hand you over to Mr. Griff Rhys-Jones, who will introduce what I think for many constitutes the highlight of this evening's broadcast.
What, is it the end? No, I'm sorry, no. But now it is a very good opportunity to nip out and make the coffee, because here, purely by dint of contractual obligation, is a very special. A one-off edition of a cross between Have I Got News for You and A Question of Sport, imaginatively titled Have I Got a Question of Sport for You, presented, and I use the word as loosely as I can, by the very lovely Angus Deayton.
Welcome to Have I Got a Question of Sport for You, a long overdue merger of BBC's most popular quiz and A Question of Sport. Many viewers have commented on the similarity between the two shows, and to be honest, many have been sickened by their blatant poaching of our What Happened Next idea. Later. In the sports news this week, in the light of Graham Gooch's 3-0 Test defeat in India, the selectors find a replacement captain with similar leadership qualities. Abroad, and Marco van Basten is shown the door as AC Milan sign a new mystery foreigner. And boxing, Frank Bruno finds a new way of surprising his opponents. On Ian Hislop's team, a 6'3" heavyweight boxing champion whose reach is 7 inches more than the distance between us. So please welcome the dashing, handsome, debonair, talented, and extremely wonderful Frank Bruno. And on Paul Merton's team, a man who, on Question of Sport, once wrongly identified Sue Barker as boxer Alan Minter. Understandable enough on the mystery guest spot, but she was sitting next to him at the time. Bill Beaumont. And so we hop, skip and stumble into our first round, and because they stole our What Happened Next idea, we've come up with a brand new picture board round. 8 numbers to choose from, behind which lie 8 cunning photo composites, each one comprising one half of a famous sportsman and the other half a famous non-sportsman, or England batsman as they're known. Your task, should you choose to accept it, is to identify the celebs. Ian, pick your number.
5. 5?
Yeah. Okay, 5 looks like this.
Right.
That is the tax man.
That's the tax man.
Or not.
Well, it looks a bit like Gooch's moustache, a bit like Botham's moustache, Mansell's moustache.
Closer.
Don't you know who that is? Are you telling him, or are you messing around, or are you milking him?
It's Ken Dodd's face, but with the smile of Nigel Mansell, which I think you got in the end, Ian. The difference between these two superstars being, of course, that Mansell avoided taxes by living in the Isle of Man, whereas Ken Dodd didn't avoid taxes at all and paid it promptly at the end of each quarter. Now, Frank.
Number 8, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that looks like the top of Gazza's head.
Very good.
Yeah. And that looks like, I think that's over to you, Ian.
That's Bamba Gascoigne.
Bamba Gascoigne and Harry's glasses.
So you've got a terrible Frankenstein-Gascoigne mix.
Yeah.
A man who says it's your starter for 10.
Right, Bill, your chance to choose.
Number 1, please.
Very good.
It looks a bit sort of nylon-y, that thing, doesn't it? Sort of plastic sort of top.
Is it Terry Wogan's hair.
And Duncan from Goodhue.
Very good. Excellent.
You could do synchronised wig swimming. You could have Paul Gackles and Terry Wogan and just send their wigs out into the pool and just watch them go round.
Could happen.
It could happen, and it does.
Does it?
Yeah, it just doesn't get in the papers.
It's incredible what you learn watching programmes like this. And finally, in this round, Paul. 5 left to choose from.
7, please. A cross between Norman Tebbit and Darth Vader. It's this cyclist, isn't it? Chris Boardman?
Boardman, that's right, yeah.
And Norman Tebbit.
And Darth Vader. Oh, yes, Norman Tebbit.
On his
yes.
bike.
Yeah.
It was Tebbit who told people to get on their bikes and find work like his father had. Of course, they do say too much a great shame his father found a job so soon. Which transports us magically to the end of round 1, at which point I can tell you that, well, both teams, both Ian and Frank and Bill and Paul, have a frugal but sufficient 4. And so we come gently to round 2, our 4-plugged What Happened Next round. 2 pieces of fascinating footage of a sporty nature. Paul and Bill, what followed?
This charismatic character. And he's been quite conservative in his expressions.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
He takes he pulls the guy's shorts down, and he's not wearing it. He's wearing nothing underneath. And a woman about 5 feet away gets a hat knocked off.
Let's see which aspects of that were right.
And he's been quite conservative in his expressions. Not now. Practical joker to the last.
Yes, it's Bamba's brother again. Gaza was transferred for £4.5 million and has so far got 3 goals. So that's £1.5 million for every time he's scored. Almost as much as it cost Bill Wyman with Mandy Smith. Apparently... Ian and Frank, a radical departure for you, insofar as what we want to know is not what happens next, but what almost certainly won't happen next.
Well, we know that the famous one in that is Sebastian Coe.
What
And
about
there's
that
some
Johnny
bloke
boy?
with glasses on. We don't know who he is.
Right.
That's John Boy, isn't it?
It's John. It's John Major. Thank goodness for Frank. This is Solly Hull's bid for the Olympics. Or is it Manchester?
Or is it Manchester?
John Major says, let's go for it. So we all know that Manchester won't get it.
Yes, absolutely right. Yes, it's Manchester's bid for the Olympics, despite their endemic problems of violence and drug dealing on Moss side. Still, Ben Johnson won't have far to go for supplies. All of which intriguing disinformation brings us to the end of this round, and the current crisis surrounds neither pair because they both have a fulsome 6. We'll be back with depressing predictability in a few minutes, but first a chance to see a couple of sporting events you're doubtless kicking yourself for missing. Celebrity go-karting and the ASA Synchronised Swimming Challenge, fronted by the great and good Bill Beaumont. Both, of course, under the alleged guise of comic relief, plus there'll be further information on how you can give away even more of your money, so have your wallets, credit cards and dialing fingers poised. And so, onwards and ever sideways with round 3, the remaining numbers on our picture board. Ian, you have first stab, as it were.
I'll have number 3, please. That's the most sensible thing they've done in years.
Well, one looks like Maria Whittaker and one looks like Samantha Fox if you're talking about the body.
And the brain. That bloke's got Sam Fox's brain.
That's a terrible insult for Sam Fox.
Is it it's something like the Villago or twins or something, or the sisters?
Oh, this is pathetic. This is clearly a cheat.
It could be a cheat, but it's absolutely right. Incredible.
Can we have a urine test on the...
Well, if you can find somebody who'll drink it, you can.
It is Penny and Vicky Villago, in fact, are their names, as you were doubtless about to tell us.
Penny and Vicky Villago.
I used to go out with them. They did everything synchronised.
Frank, choice of 3 for you.
But number 6, please. Thank you.
Very good.
So kind.
It's a pleasure. So polite.
Yes, well, that's Bill Wyman.
And who's in the lycra shorts?
Like Linford Christie's. I think it looked like Linford Christie's anyway.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
Well done. Very good.
Couldn't be Bill Wyman's because Mandy wasn't very keen on it.
Are we talking about lunchbox?
It is.
But I can't make them out if they're a man's leg or they're a woman's leg because they're not. You know,
It's a double bass.
If you look above the legs, you get a bit of a clue, actually.
It's Bill Wyman's mind with Linford Christie's vital organs. The combination of the two being potential dynamite for the female population of this country. Linford shorts became famous during the Olympics on account of the constant references to his lunchbox. That's if people still eat 2 Scotch eggs and a sausage for lunch. Bill, which number for you?
Number 2, please.
Which looks like this.
Looks like, is it Eddie the Eagle?
Must be, yeah. It's John Smith.
John Smith.
Very good indeed, well done. Of course, it's absurd, really, to combine such an ineffectual laughing stock with a national hero like Eddie. Eddie now claims to have invented a new stunt, jumping out of a plane without a parachute, which he hopes to set a British record. Let's hope he does, because he'll only get one go to try. And finally, Paul, choose any number.
Could I have 4, please, David?
They look like my legs, anyway.
I think it's Katarina Witt, is it? The ice skater?
That's right, yeah.
That's the easy bit.
The legs of Princess Dies.
I think knowing the
No,
way
anywhere.
that your brain works, I think it's Duchess of York.
Well, you've anticipated the way my brain works brilliantly, because that's absolutely right. Really? Which random guesswork marks an end to this brief encounter, and the final tally shows that tonight's sick parrots are Ian and Frank with 9, and tonight's perfectly healthy parrots are Paul and Bill with 11. We challenged them. Yeah.